Okay.
Hello! This is Orekara, short for Oretachi no Mangen wa koreからだ. I'm Maxi Hamburger, and left to me and right to you is the wonderful Percival Fine.
It's me.
We are talking about Chainsaw Man for Chainsaw Man. Because normally
Nice
we talk
try.
about Weekly
Nice
Shonen
try.
Jump, and Chainsaw Man used to be in Weekly Shonen Jump, but
now it's
in
Jump
Jump
Plus.
Plus now,
Yeah.
which gives the author Tatsuki Fujimoto way more time to focus on drawing the series good,
Which is good.
contrary
I like
to
it,
some
yeah.
other people who don't do that.
Yes. All right. Anyway, shall we get into it? Let's
Yes,
get into
this
it.
is
chapter
103.
Denji
Dream. It's not
Denji
Denji's Dream, it's a
No.
Denji Dream.
Denji Dream. So do you think that the title refers to a dream about Denji, or it's the dream that Denji has always had? Because he
I think
wanted
it's
to be
just
popular.
English.
It's English. So it's Denji's dream. With the
Although
misspelling.
considering how much of a cinephile and Hollywood lover
it's
Tatsuki
probably a
Fujimoto is,
reference to something then.
it might be a reference because I think he's probably really good at English, but I could be wrong.
What kind of, is there any movie that you can think of that has this kind of
No,
title?
but the problem
Someone
is,
named
even
him?
if there was an English titled movie that kind of sounds like Denji Dream, there's a high chance that the Japanese title is completely different. Like, if you remember, Fast and Furious is titled, wait, what was it? Max Speed or something? Hold on.
Yeah, I remember seeing a while ago a list of American movies that had their name changed in Japanese, and a lot of people were like, oh, the name in Japanese is better. But I don't remember exactly what they were. Anyway, Chainsaw Man.
Speed, sorry.
Wild Speed. Yeah, it's so wild. Their speed. Chainsaw Man is getting so popular. Look at all the merch that,
so
that people
much
have in Universe.
Real
Do you think
life
they're going to start
merch.
selling these for realsies? Chainsaw Man masks and Chainsaw Man t-shirts?
I imagine the Jump store is going to be full of stuff for Chainsaw Man once the anime hits, which is, I think, in something like 19 days, maybe even less.
And there's already pre-designed merch from the comic itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So the beginning of this chapter is a bunch of interviews with random people.
Yeah, what people think about Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. It just reminded me of the movie The Boondock Saints. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, so it's a 90s action movie with Willem Dafoe in it. I feel like we mentioned
Willem Dafoe?
Dafoe
that doesn't sound like black teenagers having anime adventures.
No, it's completely unrelated to the Boondock. The story is that there's these two Irish twin brothers in Boston. And I forget exactly how they get into it, but they're friends with a guy who works for the mob in Boston. And somehow, then, because that guy is like, he's always mistreated by his bosses, they're like, we'll work with you, and we'll just we'll kill all of the gangsters to make the city a better place.
Sure, as you normally do.
And they do it. And Willem Dafoe plays the cop who's like on their tail and like, oh, I'm gonna figure out who these guys are. But also he's like, wow, every single one of the people they killed is like a big time villain. So maybe I'm fine with it.
Sounds like one
of the brothers
premise.
is played by, what's his name?
Edward Norton.
No, Sam from Death Stranding.
Ooh.
Yeah, a young Norman Reedus. Yeah, before his face started to melt, kind of. So he looks really different. But yeah, it was a pretty fun movie.
I thought his face was molten all the time.
No, there was a time when he was a young man and his face looked pretty normal. But yeah, at the very end of that movie, I think it's during the credits even, they just show a bunch of interviews, like man on the street interviews just like this, where they're asking people like, oh, what do you think about the Saints? And people are saying like, oh, they're like, because that got to be their nickname. That's the title of the Boondock Saints. The two brothers, they got nicknamed the Saints, and some of them are like, oh, they're vigilantes, they're bad, and some people are like, oh, well, they're cleaning up the city, they're great. So
and they ask both of those brothers.
And I haven't rewatched it in a long time. Like, I kind of want to see if in there any of the people being interviewed are Norman Reedus saying, "Yeah, the Saints are awesome."
Oh, that's not how it goes. I thought it was that's where this was
it's
going.
Not how
because
it goes. No, the Chainsaw Man improved on that credit sequence.
That would have been funny. It would have been. It still would have been funny in Chainsaw Man as a reference.
Yes,
that nobody gets because nobody has watched this movie.
Yeah.
Those I really like all of these opinions, especially because it's not just people praising Chainsaw Man, because it's also people who are all like, Chainsaw Man is shit. And not just
I need to kill him.
He's causing collateral damage, but one is like, he's too popular. That pisses me off.
Yeah. And then there's the guy who's like, he doesn't exist. It's just propaganda. He was made up.
American propaganda, which is contrary to he's calling out that America exists, contrary to macadamia, which pretends that America don't exist.
Right. That's right. In the Chainsaw Man world, America is real until Chainsaw Man eats the America devil.
Until that happens.
Yeah. Until then, we're still here.
So the scene gets interrupted by Denji himself.
One of the interviews.
Doing an interview himself.
Fine young man who...
And he really tries to drop some info on himself. He wants to let it slip.
I bet he's a seriously great guy. Yeah, because one of the girls in the previous one...
like, if I say Chainsaw Man, I'm totally going to bang him.
Yeah, give me your number. So then she's like, I bet Chainsaw Man's number is this. To try to give the girl his number.
Really funny.
And then they cut him off. The people doing the interviews are like, nah, you're too long-winded. We'll cut your
6
bit out.
panels. We only give one to everyone. But the best thing is that the last person they had interviewed was like, I think he only saved the cat to eat it, and he looks at her like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Chainsaw Man definitely hasn't eaten the cat. Oh, that reminds me of a thing I wanted to mention from last time. The title was called Save the Cat, right?
Was it? I don't remember.
The last episode. The title was Save the Cat. Okay. And I say episode, I mean chapter. So I looked it up because I forget how I got to looking it up, but I discovered on tvtropes.com that Save the Cat is an alternate trope title for Pet the Dog. You know that trope?
But that's gotta be a coincidence.
Where to get audiences to like a character, you have them be friendly with a small animal.
Because the opposite is kick the dog.
Yeah, the opposite is kick the dog. So it's either Pet the Dog or Save the Cat.
My favorite example of that is in Digimon Adventure 2, where they introduce the rival character by seeing like the cutest dog who is only like 5 centimeters long, which is, I suppose, in American weird gibberish is like 2 inches.
Yeah.
And the dog just looks at it and he kicks it away, and it's
he doesn't even have a reason.
He doesn't have a reason. He doesn't get asked by the aliens area woman. She just looks at him and nods like, yeah. And it's so funny because it comes out of nowhere and it just makes him
just
so
to make him
evil.
Yeah. That is truly the shortcut to letting an audience know how to feel about a character. But you say it's a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence because apparently it's a big enough trope that there is a script writing software suite called SaveTheCat.com. And you can buy their software for like $200 or something to make your script writing better. So I'm like,
does it write the script for yourself?
No, it's one of those things where
it's like how computers nowadays just draw the mangas
draw the
for
art.
us.
I think it's so that you can do your outline and then do your actual script, and then have every page of your script you can like connect things in that to your outline. So it's like a script organization tool.
Very omoshiroi. I can think of 2 people who need the software right now.
Oh yeah, are they leaving Shonen Jump next week?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they don't need
You know
it
what? Actually,
because
3 Aliens Area
Yeah.
also needs work.
Aliens Area is the one that needs it because the other two they could just go be assistants, just be the background drawing people. I think that they'd be happier doing that rather than trying to write their own series. I think that whoever writes currently for Marvel really needs that software because
Everybody
stuff just
needs
doesn't
it.
connect. Yeah. Anyhow, so we got some information straight for the source about how Chainsaw Man definitely doesn't need the cat. Then Yoshida shows up. And
Denji doesn't remember him either.
Yeah.
He's just like me
he's
for
just
real.
like us for real. I remember the first chapter that Yoshida shows up, you were like, who's this?
I said he was suspiciously handsome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
it's true.
Just like you, Denji completely forgot about Yoshida, and he's like, oof, that hurts. Because I think Yoshida saved Denji's life back then.
Could be.
Because what's her name? Quan Chi was out to kill him, and he brought out his octopus ability to stop her.
Octopus abilities? Man, I need to read the earlier chapters one more time.
So Yoshida has a contract with an octopus devil.
Ooh.
So he can summon tentacles.
That must be a very popular devil.
A mutual friend of ours was telling me about how she likes part 2 so much better than part 1 because Yoshida is hanging out with Denji and she's like, oh, part 1 didn't have any Fujo bait for me. Now we have
here
Denji
it is.
hanging out with the tentacle guy all the time. Like, yeah, okay. So he reveals that he's working for an organization and is tasked to watch over Denji.
Yeah, he invites Denji over to have a talk.
Yeah,
that's not in public where everybody can hear, and he knows that Denji is a goblin who needs food. Yes. So that's why he Denji refuses a few times. He says no. He denies that they know each other or that
he says, I don't know
happened. He's like, well, let's go to a cafe. I'm broke. My treat. Scene switch. They're sitting there.
It's great, and it's a surprisingly empty cafe, and everything is like concentrated in that one little corner.
Fortunately, empty cafe of all the other customers who might be listening in.
Yes. Yeah, I forget they are.
So Yoshida offers him to... No, he doesn't even offer him. He just says, please don't let it slip.
Yeah. Well, he tells him, don't let anybody know you're Chainsaw Man, and I'll give you the silverware so you can eat this cake. If you
all of the stuff that you ordered. Denji went on a rampage. Mm-hmm. He orders so much stuff. Yeah, he takes the cutlery. Says you can't eat it.
He's got ice cream, orange juice, spaghetti, pudding, and cake. So
he also really, ordered a creme brulee or something like that. And
I think that's the pudding.
Oh, I see. Well,
it's a creme caramel pudding.
Oh, right, caramel.
Because he doesn't know how to read it.
So here's the problem. Yoshida forgot that Denji is a goblin.
Yes. Because
this happens next.
Yes. He doesn't care. He's just gonna eat
it. You can hear him eat that even without the sound words, and Yoshida is completely taken aback. And this is where the whole negotiation takes a downturn because Yoshida realizes that Denji can't be reasoned.
Yeah.
He's a goblin. The
I'm looking at this
Denji saying his reason for I want ladies to be all over me. Yoshida is about to say something else, and he notices, oh shit, I can't argue with that. It's true. It's solid. It's you can't do anything about this reasoning. It's true.
Yeah. When that's his motivation, can't fight that.
And that's the whole chapter.
Yeah, that's it. Just. This man on the street interview, the two guys sit down in a cafe, and one of them realizes that the other guy is goblin mode 24/7.
I love it.
And it's funny because I think at the end of part 1, then I and probably a lot of other people are like, Denji is growing as a person. He's having to learn to take care of somebody else now that he's got Nayura to be in charge of, and he's going to be more responsible. Nope. He's the same same dumb guy with the same dumb motivation from part 1.
I mean, he's allowed to do that.
When some things change, some things.
He went through a lot, and let him have this one.
That's right.
I really like that there's a juxtaposition between how Yoshida acted previously, how he was like all mysterious and evading.
Smug. He was always very smug and like kind of superior with a little smile. And then he's like, oh shit, I don't know what to do with this.
Completely hit a wall because it's impossible.
It is. It's impossible.
Who knows what he's going to come up next with?
Good question.
Because
in part 1, we had the trio of Denji with Aki and Power.
Yeah.
Where they all had, they're all pretty different. Aki was the only responsible one. Feels like now
Aki was the straight man.
Yeah, he was a straight man. Yoshida is like even more of the straight man than Aki was. So let's see how this goes now.
Yeah,
if they're going to have a team up.
Happy. The only problem now is that Chainsaw Man is now in a bi-weekly rhythm, officially.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Give him time to draw better.
I'm fine, yeah, because there's so many more.
I'm not going to starve to death if there's a week off from manga.
See, there's so many different new mangas on Jump Plus that you're bound to find something to avoid. For instance, there is a new series I want to mention really quick, which is titled Ghostbuster Osamu, which already had a one-shot that was popular enough to give this person a serialization. And the series is about a exorcist who is a Fujoshi, and her specialty is exorcising the spirits of people who have Fujoshi desires. And that's what binds them to this mortal realm. And her way of exercising them is talking it out with them, let's say, and trying to reason with how their desires are bad.
Oh.
And it's funny because it starts off with a ghost who is a Fujoshi for a certain pairing. And the person who gets haunted is like, I have no idea what this ghost is talking about, and it's driving me insane. And all the other exorcists are like, these are arcane chants. Nobody can make sense of all of these words it's saying. And then the haunted person is mentioning this to Osamu, the Fujoshi exorcist. And she's like, oh, I know what she's talking about. I'll take the case. And the problem is the ghost is a fan of a pairing that they like. The characters are Hisui and Ban. Yeah. And the ghost is always like, Hisuban is the best, and nobody understands, and it's hard being a ghost. And the problem is, it's the unpopular pairing. Everybody else is Ban Hisu.
Oh.
And that's the problem, because the Fujoshi exorcist is also Ban Hisu.
Oh no. Conflict.
Yes. It's very funny. It's very relatable if you are like slightly into shipping. It's funny, and it has a very heartwarmingly old-fashioned kind of style. Well, it's modern, but the characters have these kind of like old-fashioned cheeks, let's say.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to say about this chapter of Chainsaw Man?
No, just look forward to Chainsaw Man. And
I wanted to say a couple of things. First of all, you didn't highlight it, but the panel where he's trying to read the menu, and he's asking Yoshida for help, and he cannot pronounce creme caramel. He's going cream caramel. Yeah, it just made me think of the.
He didn't go to school.
Pop
Can't
Team
read.
Epic, where he's gonna go up and say,
"Creme caramel, please." No, hamburger. You are motherfucker.
That's what I thought of. Also, I did a little bit of a redraw of the cake eating scene. From Denji's perspective.
It's funny.
And I guess we'll close on that. We'll see you next time in 2 weeks for more Chainsaw Man. Until then.
See you then. Bye-bye.
This is Maxi Burger.
No, hamburger.